Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and can we just stop the clown show? Can we just take off the makeup real quick? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid right off. Last of Us Part 1, okay? Now, you might be like, whoa, Last of Us, Muda, what do you got to say about that? The PC port is garbage, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, okay, this is a $70 Canadian game. Okay, $70, all right? This is a big chunk of change people are putting in, all right? Now, this is probably one of the most, played movies that I've ever seen, because, yes, Metal Gear Solid 4, while it might be a movie, this game is very much, a narrative experience, okay? I played it on the PS3, played it on the 4, played it on the 5, no real intention of going out to play it on the PC. Now, the show came out, and it was pretty popular. And, Naughty Dog and PlayStation were like, shit, let's just get people playing the first game on the PC. And maybe they'll buy the second game on the PS5 or the 4, and then they'll get ready for the third game, all right? The multiplayer DLC or the whatever, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, when you make a game and you release it for like $70, shouldn't the game work, out of the box? Shouldn't that be like a central component to playing the video game? Now, I get it. PC gaming is a little bit more difficult to do now. All right, you got shader issues, you've got performance issues, you've got porting problems, whatever. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Last of Us Part 1 has been a game that's been anything but functional. Now, of course, one of the infamous screenshots you've probably seen is this one of Joel. Yes, this is from the PC version of the game. And I want to defend Naughty Dog just a little bit here, okay? Apparently, this image is from somebody running the game on the Steam Deck, okay? Now, this is a PS5 game, all right? This is a remake of the first game. It's got far better visuals than you could expect. And I just want to defend Naughty Dog just a little bit and say, if you're trying to run a PS5 tier game on a Steam Deck, you're not going to get a good experience, okay? I know people are like, but optimization, Muda. Yeah, there's only so much optimization you can do when you're in a totally different generational hardware class, okay? But that being said, though, the game looked like ass, and a lot of this came down to the fact that there was a exorbitant amount of VRAM usage. We're talking like 12, 13 gigabytes of it, which, unless you have a 4090 like me, or a really high-tier card, you're probably going to have issues playing the game. In fact, Naughty Dog straight up mentioned many known issues. Loading shaders takes longer than expected. I've seen apparently people say that this has been going up to an hour to 2 hours of letting the game pre-compile shaders. I don't necessarily really believe that, but then again, I haven't had the joy of sitting on my computer watching the Steam refund timer slip away, literally watching the game compile itself. Performance and stability is degraded while shaders are loading in the background. No shit. Really no shit. Oh wow, the game's pre-compiling shaders and trying to... Yeah, no, you just let it happen once. Older graphic drivers lead to instability or graphical problems. Again, this is like the check for anybody that isn't... Why are you not updating your drivers? What's going on with you? Game may not be unable to boot despite meeting the minimum system requirements. Really? Really? Did you even run the game at the office? A potential memory leak. Jesus Christ. That means after a certain point, the game will die and crash unless they fix it. Mouse and camera jitter for certain players, depending on hardware and display settings. So yeah, the game is a pile of dog shit, alright, on release, and it shouldn't really be surprising to some people. It is what it is. If you're a PC gamer in today's day and age, expect to have dog water experiences, unless the development studio really cares. You know the last game that ran well on the PC? Resident Evil 4 Remake. No shader pre-compilation, no stutters, no nothing as far as my experience goes. But then again, my experience isn't representative. Now, one of my favorite channels on YouTube is Luke Steffens. I think he's a cool dude, and I definitely think you should check him out. But he actually made a video where it said, is it that bad? Now, I like Luke, but Luke is also gaming on one of the highest tier systems, in my opinion. So for instance, as he's playing it, you'll notice in his video, he's getting 135 frames in an indoor scene, okay? So again, not a great representation of the game as a whole, but also Luke is running on the highest end hardware. He's got a 4090, he's got the best processor in the game, He's got like, I think 32 gigabytes of RAM. The only change that I have between Luke is I have 128 gigabytes of RAM, but that's not necessarily the important point of this entire story. The card we have is the same. And if you have a 4090, you really can't be saying that, oh, the experience isn't that bad. My brother in Christ, you are literally operating on the highest 1% of the 1% of gaming computers. And that's one of the realities. For most people, they don't even have like 40 series cards. Some of them don't even have 30 series cards, which is where a shit ton of the performance issues are. Some people have mid-range AMD, mid-range NVIDIA cards. That's most gaming people. A lot of them have entry-level systems. And it's those guys, the majority of the fucking player base, that cannot play the game because Naughty Dog and Iron Galaxy, yes, Iron Galaxy, as far as I understand, were also the fucking people behind developing this game, ladies and gentlemen, shockingly. And if that name doesn't really hit you, apparently Iron Galaxy were the same people that designed Arkham Knight for PC, that infamously bad PC port, which again, at the time, I never had an issue with because I was rocking like a GTX, what was it, like 900 series or a 700 series, whatever top end card there was at the time. I was like, what are the performance issues? But generally, for most people, they were playing a game that ran like dog water. And that's the same issues we're getting here with Last of Us on PC. Now, of course, Naughty Dog comes out and says, PC players, we know some of you have not experienced the Naughty Dog quality you expected. Our team is working hard to resolve issues currently preventing some of you from experiencing the game to ensure it reaches the quality level you expect and deserve. I hate any fucking form of PR like this nowadays. Can we just take the clown makeup off real quickly? Okay, when you've got clips like this floating around, like, what in the actual hell am I watching? Like, at some point, you have to game test these situations. This is obviously an egregious bug, I have to imagine. Like, Ellie is straight up on crack at this moment. This is a bad experience overall. Anyways, we gotta take the clown makeup off. How is it that before the game is released, you have no idea how bad your PC build is? The reality of this entire kerfuffle is before you made the game go live, before you rushed it out to meet this release date that corporate probably wanted you to hit, how is it that you had no idea the game was running like this? Look, there's two fucking scenarios here, okay? Either Naughty Dog never launched the PC version of the game and just, decided to put it on the Steam store and launch it, or here's the more likely scenario, you just know how bad it is. You know how bad things are running. You know how bad shit really is. And so instead of delaying the game, you take everyone's money, okay, everyone's $70, $80, $60, wherever your regional pricing is, and you decide, okay, like scumbags, we're just going to release the game. And you know what? 24 hours later, you're going to have this surprised face that people are saying the experience is bad. You knew the experience was going to be bad, yet you still charged people, you still took their money, and you still sold the game. There has to be legit consumer protections for this kind of crap beyond just having like the online store offering a refund on their level entirely. Honestly, it should be goddamn illegal and it should be class action worthy anytime a developer decides to release a game like this, to release any software package like this, and think that it's suddenly okay. Back in the day, if you printed a disc for the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, well, PS2 and GameCube, Xbox, you could patch pretty easily with Xbox Live. Even PC games, you could always patch and download something from a file server. But when you printed a disc, okay, it pretty much had to work, all right? You couldn't have game-breaking bugs. You couldn't just drop that. You couldn't print those discs, ship them out to millions of players, and expect nobody to complain. You literally kill your entire franchise if you did that. But now, of course, games are, of course, harder to make, and of course, they're a lot easier to release and patch later. It's almost like, buy the early access game, because it is what it is. This is early access. Actually, that's an insult to early access. There are plenty of early access games on Steam that have a lot more care and love put into it from their indie counterparts than these AAA dog waters. If you are going to absolutely release this game in its early access state, how is it suddenly legal for people to buy the game and then just sit back for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Some of them who set aside time to play your dog shit game, and then you're like, don't worry, we'll patch it. You'll release patch after patch. The patch for the patches patch. The patch for the patches patch. Okay? And it still runs like shit. It's not just Last of Us. There's been so many games that have been having issues like this. This is just the GTA Definitive Edition of this year, okay? How? I don't get it. I don't get, and people who are like, oh man, get the PlayStation instead of the PC. It's not about which console or hardware is better, okay? It's about ethics. You know, if you released a game on the PS5 that ran like shit compared to the Xbox counterpart and the PC counterpart, you would make a rightful stink like this. Same for the Xbox people, and the same for the PC users. Why is it that game like morons on the internet? Okay, I wish I could use different words because fucking I wish YouTube wasn't so sensitive. Why is it that these like gaming forum circle jerk losers are out there always trying to find an own on the other, branch of gamers? Oh, these PC gamers are finally getting what they deserve. Oh, these PlayStation gamers are getting what they deserve. Oh, these Nintendo guys are losers. Why are you all so horny about that? You should be up in arms about a dog shit company releasing a dog shit game with dog shit performance and taking full price. But no, you're gonna have like these stupid hardware battles and completely miss the point. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really had to say. Big L for PlayStation, bro. Big L for Naughty Dog. I'm out.